Carol Denson, who will be joining us to talk about her positions on reproductive health and rights. Hi, Carol. Hi. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Carol Denson, and I'm running for representative from Texas House District 148. I'm a mom to a college-age son and the caregiver for my 92-year-old mom. I've been a teacher for over 2 decades. I taught 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grades as a bilingual teacher for 11 years, and now I work for a program called Writers in the Schools, and I've done that before and after. I also, as a bilingual teacher, I came to know firsthand like the character and integrity and the struggles of our immigrant families. As an educator, I come to know firsthand the emotional and academic cost of all the testing that is happening, as well as the fear those children feel during lockdowns. Let's see, what else? Oh, for 7 years I've been a climate activist, and this was really what propelled me to run. There's a lot of wonderful candidates, but I wanted to bring this perspective. So I've been advocating for climate policy for 7 years, and nothing has happened. And it's so urgent that I decided I would run and write the legislation myself. And in this context, as a beneficiary of Planned Parenthood services for my entire life and many very critical points in my life, I just want to say I am a fierce advocate for women's bodily autonomy and right to make their own decisions about their lives. And I'm very grateful to Planned Parenthood for the role they play in that.
Great, thank you. Again, we are here with candidates from HD 148 for the special election to replace retiring State Representative Jessica Farrar, who was a huge champion for decades for Planned Parenthood, for women's reproductive rights, and for reproductive health care and justice. And we have many great candidates with us today. Right now we're talking to Carol Denson. And so first question, Carol, you've talked a little bit about some of your personal involvement, but if you could expand a little bit on how you have shown support and been involved for the fight to expand and protect reproductive rights, and how you have been personally impacted, what the first experiences have shaped your perspective.
I'll start with the personal first. I found myself with an unintended pregnancy at one time, and I was in an unhealthy relationship. And I am so grateful for Planned Parenthood. I went to Planned Parenthood and I talked to the counselor. I was like, can I see a counselor? And that counselor gave me information that helped me make a decision. And the decision I made was to have the baby. And I think there's a lot of times like that I'm sure all the people here aren't surprised by that, but there are people that don't think that would happen. But she gave me information like, are you dating an alcoholic? Here's some Al-Anon meetings. And that was very, very helpful. And I decided to have and I went back to her again, and she said, well, if you're crying on the table, we're not gonna do the procedure. And I was like, and so she just helped me realize that I actually wanted the child, and I just needed help to get out of the relationship. So that was really, really impactful. It changed my life. My son is now 21 years old, and I've had a wonderful life as a single mom. And that was just like one of the experiences. There are many others where they've made me feel welcomed and safe and cared for. Let's see. So what I have done is donated money, signed online petitions, and shown up to, protests and that kind of thing. And what I would do is champion the bills. Like I would try to be an excellent replacement for Jessica Farrar.
1 in 4 women in the U.S. will have an abortion, and 2 out of 3 women who have an abortion have already had a child. How do you think candidates and elected officials can make it clear that abortion is standard health care procedure and help destigmatization of abortion, but also, I think, demystifying what Planned Parenthood really does in its capacity to provide healthcare, quality healthcare access for people that would not get it normally?
So are you asking how as a representative, I would provide demystify? Is that kind of the question?
So first, I think one component of this is definitely to destigmatize what abortion really means for people and the impact of their lives, their families' lives, especially if they've already had children. And also, like, I think as a candidate and a champion, to really like demystify some of these just false, equivocally false perceptions, kind of to hook on to what you said.
Yes, yes. You know, I know many women who have had an abortion, and I love that they're opening up and telling their stories. I think that's one way to destigmatize, by just being open and honest. Like with sex education, you know, in countries where it's just like talked about openly, like that they have lower unintended pregnancies, right? Fewer abortions. I'm always, this is a little bit off topic, but I'm always surprised. I mean, I've noticed this about myself. When my son was young, we could watch a movie with lots of violence. I mean, I tried to avoid it, but like when he was 11 or something, even a Hobbit movie, like there's violence, right? And we're like okay with that, but you put a sex scene in a movie and we're like, oh, that's weird. You know, like you get uncomfortable in front of your children. And I think that tells a lot about our society, that even I, who think of myself as one who is open and honest about sex, feel that. Like, I think that's a societal thing. So, to destigmatize, okay, but that's kind of aside. I think we should just talk about it. I think abortion should be part of sex education. I think sex education in schools should talk about, you know, all the different contraceptive methods as well as abortion, and just tell people what it is. You know, I think it should just be an open and honest conversation. That would be a way. As far as a bill that I would introduce to make that happen, I don't know, but you guys can help me out with it.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Carol. That's our time. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.